The way you think and your personality is reflected in your handwriting. Because think about it, you're holding a pen and that pen is moving with body movements, which are dictated by personality, which is really interesting.
Welcome to the Unapologetic Man podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it.
Welcome to another episode of the Unapologetic Man podcast, the podcast that has more twists and turns than a cheap garden hose, which coincidentally was my nickname in high school. I super appreciate you guys tuning in. Now listen, so many dating coaches tell you to be funny, tell you to entertain her, to get her into her emotions. And then you're sitting there being like, how, dude, what the f do I talk about? Give me some content. And they never give it to you because creating content in this way, coming up with shit to talk about with chicks and instructing guys how to do it is extremely fucking difficult. That is why I have committed literally the last 2 decades of my life collecting and compiling all the best shit to get girls attracted to you when you come into my program. And yes, even when you listen to this podcast, I tell you what to say. I tell you what to talk about. I tell you how to do it. Answering stupid questions that she's going to ask you, asking her those kinds of questions, and doing it in a way that elicits emotions. And this, gentleman, is handwriting analysis. How to 1000x her attractiveness for you, which cracks me up because I was looking at all my titles through the years. And first I was like 10x her attractiveness. Then it's like 50x. Then it's 100x. Now I'm up to 1000x, boys. That's how powerful this shit is. But seriously, guys, you need content to get her attracted. If you're just doing the normal, boring, mundane conversations that everybody else does, obviously you guys have all experienced. That doesn't get her attracted to you. That's why I have committed myself to give you guys the absolute best shit possible to actually elicit emotions in women, elicit attraction in women, and handwriting analysis is so gangster. You can run this on the first date, second date, third date. You could even do it in the first conversation, as I have many times. It takes anywhere from 10 minutes to up to an hour if you really want to go deep into it. It's a lot of fun. Girls love it when you analyze their personality. That's why I have so many of these gambits that analyze her personality, tell her how she is, tell her her deeper psychology, and handwriting analysis works into that perfectly. So what is handwriting analysis? Essentially, it's based on the truth that your belief systems and your personality are reflected in your unconscious movements. This is why when it comes to body language, women can deduce immediately whether or not you're confident or not. She can look at you, the way you behave, your tonality, subtle things like the way your eyes move, the way your hands move, just the way you hold yourself. She can immediately assess whether or not you're confident, whether or not you believe in yourself, whether or not you're a high value guy. Well, the same thing works in the handwriting analysis. The way you think and your personality is reflected in your handwriting. Because think about it, you're holding a pen and that pen is moving with body movements, which are dictated by personality, which is really interesting. So your personality is reflected in not only your body language, but also your body movements. Now, here's the cool thing. If, say, for example, you're insecure, that is going to show up in your handwriting. And there's something a lot of you guys do when you apply to my program where I can immediately tell just by how you write if you're insecure. And I'm going to talk about that at the end of the show. But just as your insecure belief systems are reflected in your handwriting, you can change your handwriting to build up secure belief systems. So part of what I do for my guys in my 3-month coaching program is tell them how to change their handwriting to reflect masculinity, confidence, self-belief. And when they start doing that, it starts working in the opposite direction, changing how they feel about themselves. And I'm going to give you a few of those tips today. I'm holding the coolest shit until the end, as I always do, because I want you guys to stay on. I mentioned in a previous episode that it destroys my analytics when you guys click out early. So staying on through the whole episode is one of the best ways you can help me, as well as telling your friends about my podcast. I have a perks program where I'm going to send you a bunch of cool shit if you tell friends about it, if you leave me a review, if you post about my podcast on such things as Reddit or seduction forums. email me at coachmarksing@gmail.com and I will send you all that cool stuff. You could click the link in the description below that explains all the perks package. And by the way, in some of those perks packages, I actually give you a comprehensive breakdown of how to do handwriting analysis, which today I will do a smaller version of. So you're still going to get a lot of value in this episode, but if you really want my creme de la creme teachings, including things like templates to email chicks, all the gambits that I teach you guys to talk about with girls to elicit emotions, then please help me out by telling your friends about it or posting about it on like Facebook or a seduction forum. Email me and I will send you all that cool stuff. In a statement issued by the Taliban's Department of Infidel Outreach, my perks program is the shit. They give it the thumbs up, man. The Taliban, they absolutely love it. Let's get into the content. All right, boys. So what we're going to do is we're going to be on a date with her or whatever it is, even talking to her in the first conversation and be like, so, hey, Sarah, have you ever had your handwriting analyzed? And she'll probably say no. And what you'll do is you'll explain to her what I just explained to you, that your handwriting shows other people certain aspects of your personality. Did you know that? Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no, but most girls don't know about this. And you say, yeah, it's really interesting. I actually took a handwriting course. Now, for those of you who don't like to lie, this is your handwriting course. Congratulations. At the end of this episode, you will be a graduate of Mark Singh's handwriting analysis. So you tell her, yeah, I actually did a handwriting course. Do you want me to analyze your personality? And she'll be like, of course I do. I'm really interested. So what you have her write is this, and this is some genius shit. You have her write, I am attracted to you, comma, Mark. But of course, where Mark is, you put in your own name. So like Brian, Steve, whatever. I am attracted to you, Brian, and I don't know why that is. Now, here's the thing. You have to have her write it in cursive. I just did a little research for you boys. They stopped teaching cursive in 2010. So unless you're going to go hit on a 14-year-old girl, which I know for probably 80% of you, that's a likely thing. But for the rest of us, we're not going to hit on 14-year-old girls. Most of the girls who are of age of dating can write in cursive, and it has to be in cursive because there's certain elements of her cursive writing that are going to clue us into certain things, including her sexuality. So stay tuned for that one. So once again, I am attracted to you, Mark, and I don't know why that is. That gives us a good sample of all the letters and everything else we need to analyze her handwriting. And again, stay tuned, boys, because the last one is fucking gangster, and I'm saving it till the end. All right, so you're going to give her a blank piece of paper, a pen. She's going to write it, make her do it in cursive. And if she says she can't write cursive, be like, just do your best with it. You remember cursive. Come on, do your best with it. It doesn't need to be perfect for me to analyze your handwriting because, again, all of it is unconscious. You don't even know what you're doing. All right, so she writes, I'm attracted to you, Mark, and I don't know why that is. First of all, big letters mean that she's an extrovert. Small letters mean that she's an introvert. An upward slant, meaning it generally trends from the bottom left to the top right, means that she's optimistic. And a lot of you guys probably know that. Maybe you've heard this. And by the way, if your letters go down and to the right, what do you think that means? It means you're pessimistic. Do you think being pessimistic is conducive to your success? No, it's not, you idiot. In a statement issued by the North Korean Department of Parks and Wildlife, having a downward slant is not good for your success because you need to be optimistic. So if it's going downwards and to the right, it means she's pessimistic. And if it's wavy, like a drunk caterpillar, it means that she's kind of all over the place. She's emotionally unstable. So up and to the right, optimistic. Down and to the right, pessimistic, wavy, all over the place. It actually means she's emotionally unstable. And actually, check this one out, boys. A lot of serial killers, their writing will do that. It'll sometimes go up. It'll sometimes go down. It changes all the time because they're fucking psychopaths and they want to eat your brain. So if you see a girl with really psychotic writing, run for the hills. All right, if it has a right slant, like the writing itself is actually slanted to the right, it means she's emotional. If it has a left slant, it means she's reserved. And if it's straight up, it means she's logical. So right slant is very emotional. Left slant is very reserved. Straight up is very logical. And think about this. I know this is true for me. Like my shit goes very much to the right, and I'm an emotional kind of fella. I get butthurt very easily. I hyperextend my anal chakra on a regular basis. It took a shit ton of work for me to get on my inner balance point. And it's kind of true. And girls who have very straight up writing, think about it. They're often very logical. I haven't dealt with a lot of girls who have a left slant, but again, that means they're reserved. Now we're going to analyze the spacing. So if it has like a lot of wide spacing and you have seen girls write this way, it means they need space. They're very independent. Whereas close spacing means they like close connections. And this is also in the smallness of their writing. Look at how big their writing is. If it's really big, they're very boisterous. If it's very small, they're very reserved. Now you guys may be picking up on something. You can bullshit your way through this like no tomorrow. Man, you could be a fucking car salesman with this shit and just bullshit your way through. Oh, I noticed you dotted your I with a machete. That means that you want to fucking kill people. Am I right? And she's like, oh my God, you're so intuitive. Just use logical sense, boys. It'll usually pan out for you. All right, let's get into the letters. And this is where it gets real interesting. The letter I, and this is why I said, I am attracted to you, Mark, and I don't know why that is, because I want to see what her I looks like in the very beginning. If it's a big I, it means she's very confident. It means she believes in herself. It means she has high self-esteem. If it's a little I, it means that she doesn't have high self-esteem. Now, a quick tip when analyzing girls' personality, not only in this gambit, but all the other ones that I teach, you always want to make things look positive. So if she has a small I, you'll know inside your head, you'll be like, oh, this chick's insecure. But what you'll tell her is that she doesn't have an ego, that she's very humble. Right? You always want to say these things in a positive light. All right. Now, her other I found in the word is, which is the last part of the sentence. If the dot is far above, it means she's a dreamer, maybe a little bit flaky. If the dot is close and precise, it means she has good attention to detail and she's logical. If she puts a heart, a circle, or as I said, a machete for the dot, it means she's immature, trying to be cute, possibly manipulative. They put a fucking heart there with a machete going through it, and you with your head chopped off in a picture at the bottom of the page. Big red flag, gentlemen. In a statement issued by the PETA Division of Competitive Barbecue Events, huge red flag. By the way, PETA is People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Pretty funny. Competitive barbecue events. You guys like that? I literally took a road trip the other day and I saw Colorado Department of Transportation. And then my mind, as random as it is, started thinking like, oh, the North Korean Department of Transportation. And then I was like, North Korean Department of Parks and Wildlife. And then, of course, North Korean Department of Humanitarian Affairs. I think that's pretty funny. All right. Next letter is T. And the T is so important, guys. This is fascinating. If you're starting to lose your concentration, stick with me because this literally can change your self-esteem. All right, you know how you have a T where it has the vertical bar and then the horizontal bar? Well, the horizontal bar can tell us a lot about your self-esteem. If the horizontal bar, meaning the T bar, is high up on the T, it means you have a high self-esteem. If it's low on the T, it means you have a low self-esteem. If the T bar goes far to the right, such as you're crossing the T and the T bar keeps going, it means you're ambitious. And something that was told to me when I took my handwriting analysis class is look at the Declaration of Independence. All the T bars are really long. The reason that is because they were ambitious. They had huge dreams. They were risk takers. And that's what I want to be in my life. I want to think big. So I make my T bars really long and have them go crazy because that's ambitious. If they have a pointed T bar, like it's kind of pointed at the end, it means they're sarcastic. Short crossbar means they're timid, maybe too agreeable. If the T-bar is to the left, think about this, they're focused on the past. So if the T-bar is on the left, you'd be like, oh, you think about the past a lot, don't you? She'll be like, yeah, how'd you know that? You'd be like, well, your T-bar is off to the left. And again, if the T-bar is really low, which shows low self-esteem, you say that she's humble. Anything low self-esteem, I say, oh, you're really humble. And they fucking love that shit. A weak stem means they have weak will, might fold under pressure. And a strong upright stem that's really big means they have a good backbone, a backbone of steel. All right, the letter O. If the O is enclosed, like it kind of looks like a cross between an O and a U, there's a little open part at the very top. It means that she's very talkative. Find that interesting. And by the way, I have found that to be true. If the O's are closed completely, it means that she's frank, which means she just tells you how it is. My O's are complete circles. They're completely closed. And I am pretty frank. I'm going to tell you how it is, bro. And honestly, if you haven't applied for my 3-month coaching program yet, or even done the perks where you tell friends about my podcast, I gotta lie. You are a champion, an absolute champion. I gotta lie about it. All right, let's continue forward. This is the most interesting shit. I absolutely love this. Okay, so she writes, I am attracted to you, Mark, and I don't know why that is. The pressure that she puts on the page will tell you a lot about how forgiving she is or how easily she lets things go. Think about it. What do you think high pressure means? Meaning she writes it down and you feel the back because you can actually feel the pressure through the backside of the page. It means she doesn't let things go. It means she's intense, holds grudges, but you could put this in a positive light that says she's passionate. So if somebody has a lot of pressure when they're writing, and you can even see people writing, look at how hard they press. It means that they're passionate, or more accurately, they hold grudges. Light means they let things go. They let shit roll off their back. So I've actually lightened up my handwriting because I had really intense pressure, especially through high school, dude. I was a fucking stress case, dude. I used to get stomach aches 3 times a week, often accompanied by projectile diarrhea because I was stress case. Anxiety, agoraphobia, oh my hell, dude. So I have lightened up. When I write real lightly, and therefore I've lightened up. Do you guys know how many times I had to re-record that? When I write real lightly. That was hard. So if you're a fucking stress case like I naturally am, lighten it up, bro, especially your handwriting. Underlining their name. And this is something I want you guys to steal. When you underline your name, what does it mean? It means confidence. It means self-reliance, self-respect. So every time I sign my name, whether it's on a check, a document, or just writing autographs, for those of you who find me in the airport for the Unapologetic Man podcast, which has happened a few times, I fucking underline that shit, bro. I also make my M, the first letter of my name, really big because that too is confidence. And my last name, Singh, I put a huge S, because that too is confidence. Now, the most interesting part of you analyzing her handwriting is going to be the why, which is found in the word why, W-H-Y. I don't know why that is. You want that why in there because you want to analyze it. And here's the thing. Big loopy tail means she's highly sexual. Small tail or no tail at all means she's not very sexual. She's prudish. So you could get an insight into how she is. Pointy bottom, aggression, or unresolved tension. Round bottom, open-minded, emotionally balanced. But it's the fucking loop, bro, that I always point at and I laugh. And I'm like, oh my God, look at the loop on your why. That tells me everything I need to know about you. And she's like, what? You'd be like, oh, I can't tell you. You're going to be so embarrassed. She's be like, what? What does it say? And then I really draw it out, build the intrigue, build the sexual tension, and be like, well, you're really sexual. Like, you love it. With the right guy, though. I can tell everything else in your handwriting here that you want it with the right guy. And she's like, oh, you're so intuitive. And then you guys fucking fall naked into your bed and you have bone-ass monkey sex. You're a fucking legend because you've learned all the gambits that I'm teaching you. All right, guys, something for you, man. A lot of you guys who apply to the program and who write me emails will not uppercase your own fucking names. Do you understand that the second I see that, I know that you have security problems? I know that you're insecure. I know that you don't value yourself too much, and I see it all the time. And what turns out to be true with those guys who either apply to my program or perhaps my master classes, they are always struggling with their self-esteem. So from now on, guys, uppercase your fucking name. In fact, put a huge letter for the first letter of your name, underline your name, and mimic those personality traits, some of which I explained here, but obviously I explain way more in depth in my 3-month coaching program, in your writing, because as I said, just as your personality is reflected in your writing can change your personality. So when I learned this, I changed my writing completely. I did long T-bars. I signed my name hella big. I underlined that shit 3 times. I stopped pressing so hard and everything else that I've been talking about to change your personality. And that's what I alluded to at the top of the show. When I get applications from you guys, I can tell even by your typing how much confidence you have, because some dudes won't even capitalize their own fucking name. What does that say about them? That doesn't say good things. And I'll actually go through the spreadsheets and capitalize everything because it bothers me. I'm anal like that, to see lowercase letters everywhere. And frankly, I think one of the reasons my program is so effective is because I'm fucking a perfectionist. I want it all dialed in, and like lowercase letters, just like, they give me the EBGB. So be confident in your handwriting, mimic all those confident things. And the next time you're hanging out with a chick, be like, hey, have you ever had your handwriting analyzed? And she'll probably say no. And then you do this thing. I am attracted to you, comma, Mark or Brian, Adam, whatever, and I don't know why that is. And then boom, you're going to go to Bone Town. Gentlemen, I do appreciate you tuning in for this one and staying till the end to not fuck up my analytics. If you could be so kind as to click the first link in the description, which is the perks program, go check that out. See what kind of perks I'm giving in exchange for you guys telling your friends about it or telling groups about it. Then email me at coachmarksing@gmail.com and I will send you all that cool shit, including with some of them a deeper dive into handwriting analysis. But this should get you started, boys. This should be enough. You can bullshit your way through it and get those girls attracted to you. I appreciate you listening. I drop podcasts on Mondays and Thursdays, so please stay tuned for the next one, and I will see you in the next episode.